your workload, simulate something like a pull system instead of a push system. And what I mean by that is when you keep track of what you're working on, have the top part of that list, which is I'm actively working on these things, and keep that top part of your list to like 2 or 3 things. Everything else is in the bottom part of the list. It's to work on next, and it's in an ordered queue. And so when you finish something that you're working on, you pull something new to take its slot from the list below, right? So what I'm trying to do with that advice is reduce all this administrative overhead. Because now, even if like you can't get away, you have to say yes to these things because it's the way like your organization works. The stuff that's in the waiting to work on queue, you say, I don't have meetings about that. I don't do emails about that. I wait till I'm actively working on it. And I only actively work on 3 things at a time. Now, I'm going to finish those things really quickly because I don't have 15 items worth of meetings I'm going to every day. So things are going to pull up there pretty quickly. And so the rate at which I'm accomplishing things will probably be higher than it was before. But I only work on 3 things actively. You could even make this visible. It's in a shared document if you want to. When someone asks you to do something new, tell them to put it on the end of your queue. You're like, oh, okay. So like Andrew is not working on this right now. He's working on these 3 things. And there's 7 things here. And I'm adding something number 8. So I know not to expect something for a while. In fact, I can keep checking this list until I see Andrew's working on it. So I can see it's making progress. And then once I know he's working on it, I can start emailing him about it. And we can do just the normal type of overhead you would have with projects, right? That alone is going to have a huge difference. Like now the amount of distraction in your day is going to plummet. Because that's generated from overhead of things you've agreed to do, and that's going to plummet that down.
Could I just thank you? Could I just ask a few questions about that, just to clarify?
Course,
so I'll use myself as an example, selfishly, but then of course I don't know what everyone else out there is pursuing. But so substitute the specifics I'm about to insert here for whatever it is that you care about in your life. So researching podcasts.
Yeah.
Solo podcasts in particular for me is my major task in life these days.
Yeah.
With respect to work. So that would be top of the list.
Yeah.
There could be 2 other items on this, top of queue. Would daily activities like exercise, social time with loved ones, et cetera, would that be included there? Or we're talking specifically about work?
Yeah, let's just keep just work.
Okay. So it would be, podcast prep.
You might have the particular topic though.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm working on an episode right now about skin health.
You could have 2 different episode topics you're prepping. Those could both be up there.
Yep. So skin health, allergies episode. These are 2 that I'm spending a lot of time on, months. Yeah. In fact. Yeah.
Right. And then your third might be something that involves the media company, something around the business side of it. Like, okay, we're trying to figure out a plan for whatever.
Right. Content for a
new content
a brand
strategy.
association or something.
Exactly.
Okay. Got it. Great. So those 3 would be top of the list. And every day until those are done, they could sit top of the list. And then there are a number of items underneath those that fall under whatever.
Yeah. And critically, when these other items come up, right? Like, oh, this is like a topic, for example, I want to do a show on. You have a place to put it, where it's not being forgotten. Or here's a business idea. Like, we need to figure out like whatever. We want to do something with our camera, configure. Okay, put it on the list. So it's not being forgotten. Like it's on there and you can see where it is. Not only is it on there, but like this could be shared among your team. So as people had extra information or things to add to one of these projects, they can add it to it on the list, right? So the information is aggregating. So if you use a tool like Trello for this, I use Trello for my own organization, what I'm working on. So now you have a place where you can gather like, oh, I just heard about something that's relevant to this thing I need to work on. You have a place to put it. Like it goes onto the Trello card. Or you could do this with shared documents. Doesn't matter. You're just like literally typing things into a Google Doc.
Or a whiteboard.
Or a whiteboard.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you could be, we're keeping track of these things, right?
I'm going to do this, by the way.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm a big believer in this. And then everyone can see what you're working on. And then, but the key thing is if it's not in your active list, you don't have meetings about it and you don't have emails about it, right? Like if people have ideas or things, they just add it to the card. So when that gets up to the active list, we can work on all the information there. We haven't forgotten anything.